Hello, I'm Julia Cordova. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to make this the fastest chart review I've ever done. You ready? All right. Whoop. Okay. So, let's see. We're going to start off by looking at ES weekly futures. Last week we closed exactly on my trend line. So what I had mentioned before was that there was some potential divergence here, just like there was here, and here we got out of it. Here it's still divergent, but it's possible that we get out of it. In order to get out of it, however, we do have to break above this trend line, which for this week I'm watching 3707. Now because ES at least opened the week, and because we're doing this 6:21 my time, but because it opened the week a little bit lower than before, there is some wiggle room here. It can actually break above and have a wick above and come back down. So what really matters is where it closes. As a bear, I was worried that it would open above, back test, and go way up, way up. But so far, this trend line is holding at 3707. However, I would like to see the high happen during the U.S. trading hours, because I don't know why. I'm just a little OCD that way. I just feel like the high should happen when there's the most liquidity, if there is a high happening. Amen. All right, here we go. Now this is the daily. So from a daily perspective, we are above my star line. We back tested it. We went way above it. So just, I mean, if I weren't in a bearish position already, I would wait until we're below, at this time, 36.35 or so, which is the star line. And once, if we do get back below that, then I would look for some potential bearish continuation, at least for a tiny correction, a tiny dip, a tiny one. Here's Nasdaq. Nasdaq opened higher. So there was an hourly gap here from where it closed to where it opened, and so far it looks to be coming back and retracing a bit of that. I don't know if it'll get there or not before it starts going back up. But anyway, you know, I have a swing position, or I'm attempting a swing at least in a short in the semiconductor short, and I should have closed it out when we came back, and I literally tweeted that we back tested and we did what we needed to do in order to stay above this line, and that was on last Monday. And then it just spent the entire week ripping. Now the most bearish thing that I see here, because there isn't anything technically, I mean, look up and to the right, but the most bearish thing I see is a hanging man, and then up, I'm ignoring that, another hanging man, and then up, I'm ignoring that, but I'm ignoring it a little bit less, and then a gap up here. So potentially there could be some exhaustion there. However, just from a pure technical perspective, really it's not bearish even a little bit until it's below, at this point, 1288. That doesn't mean it can't go down to get here, right? And that would, I guess, technically be bearish by like 500 freaking points. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm not happy about it. So I think that the lesson learned here, or the lesson that I should remember here, is wait for bearish confirmation before being bigly short, which I'm not bigly, but I'm just saying. Okay, let's look at gold. So last week I had mentioned that if a gold got down here, and I think I said 1752 at the time, to this 50 MA, that might be a good time to scale in. It hit almost exactly. However, I did not scale in because I am still waiting at this time for a breakout, which miraculously this week would be 1876, which is also the 9 MA, or some kind of breakdown, some kind of like, uh-oh, what's happening here? So right now I'm still waiting, but the numbers I'm watching this week are 1876. Potentially I might do one scale there, or way back down to 1680 or so. But this last week was great for scalping. And this really, if you look at it, still looks like a ginormous bull flag. So the breakout would be about here, although it would be safer buy if you were looking at an investment account to add here at 1926 or so, in my opinion. That would be above the 20 MA, the 9 MA, the 50 MA, and would be a breakout that I don't think that if it got that far, it could say, nope, I'm just kidding. I think that would have so much momentum at that point that it would be moonbeams. Let's look at silver. I did a poll this week past week about whether or not we go for silver or Bitcoin, and I knew that silver was about to pop, mostly because I knew that gold was about to pop, but I did it for 8 months instead of 6, and here's why. Because even though this also looks like a huge ass bull flag at this time, and maybe it is, because I will definitely buy it if it gets above 26.50 or so, I do think that there is still more downside here. We closed at weekly resistance, and if we get above there, great. It'll probably blip up here, but for now, it's still, for me, I'm waiting, and I can do that because I sold high, and I don't mind buying a breakout, but I would rather buy a breakdown just because that's how I am. I don't know, I got problems. Oh boy, Natty, trying to catch a falling knife here, which I did, and did pretty well on the end of Thursday, Friday. And then so far, from a futures perspective, we've gapped down. I will stop out here at 2.408, so I hope it doesn't get down there. I'm sad that it gapped down. I was hoping that it would gap up. I actually closed out some at 2.616. If you're following me on Twitter, I said that before I got there. Yay. And when I got there, I closed them out. However, from an un-yay perspective, I actually rebought it right around, right around 258 or 4 or so. I think I don't even want to look. Yeah, so we'll see what happens overnight. Natty is a wild beast. Hopefully I don't stop out and it just goes whoop. We'll have to see. But I thought this was a good opportunity to catch this trend line I've been watching on my other chart. Let's look at coffee. So I mentioned before I didn't want to buy coffee unless it was above 36.66 or so. Why? Because it was resistance. So I did not add anything this week, but however, I will be tempted to add if it gets down to 33.94 this week, and then I will potentially stop out of my other positions if it goes any lower. However, I still do not think it's bearish unless it gets below 33.14. So there I would consider adding back anything that I might take out from a stop if it gets down here. All right, let's look at oil. Oil had another bullish week. Oil is bullish. I'm buying every dip in oil. I hope we get a bigger dip so I can buy more, because I've been very bullish oil. And that's it. Okay, I'll make myself big. All right, well, thank you again very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the interwebs. Okay, bye.